Welcome to Engadget's unnamed weekly roundup of video game news. I'm Jessica Condit. Here's what's going on in games right now. Baldur's Gate 3 is officially Game of the Year, and after months as a PlayStation console exclusive, it's finally available on Xbox. However, if you're waiting for it to become available on Game Pass, stop. Baldur's Gate 3 is never coming to Xbox or PC Game Pass, according to Larian Studios founder Sven Vinke. It's a fantastic, big, and lengthy game sold at a standard price of $70. Take it or leave it. Naughty Dog has canceled The Last of Us Online, its multiplayer spin-off that's been in the works for years. This isn't too surprising considering the lack of updates about the game, but it is now official. Naughty Dog said it didn't have the resources to support a live service game and also create single-player narrative experiences, which are historically its thing. The studio has more than one of those games in development right now. 2023 was a year of upheaval in video games. There were three main factors molding the industry: consolidation, layoffs, and unionization. In terms of consolidation, the biggest story of the year was the approval of Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard King for $69 billion. Microsoft is now the third largest video game business in the world by revenue, right behind Sony and Tencent. Today, the Xbox umbrella covers nearly 40 studios, including Arcane, Bethesda, id Software, Infinity Ward, Mojang, Ninja Theory, Playground Games, 343 Industries, and Turn 10. Sony is more subtle than Microsoft about its attempts at total domination, but it owns 21 development teams, including Bungie, Guerrilla Games, Haven Studios, Insomniac, Naughty Dog, and Sucker Punch Productions. It's made a lot of purchases in the past 3 years and invested heavily in studios like Epic Games and From Software. And then there's Tencent, which has thousands of tentacles spread across the industry. Tencent owns a portion of Bloober Team, Paradox Interactive, Platinum Games, Remedy, Roblox, and Ubisoft, among others. It has a majority stake in Supercell, Tequila Works, Techland, and others. It fully owns Riot Games, Funcom, and of course others. It also runs multiple internal development companies and publishing labels. Tencent also owns a 40% stake in Epic Games. This alone means anytime you buy a game built on Unreal Engine, Tencent is getting a cut. If you played something this year, Tencent was probably involved. There are clear short-term benefits of being bought by a larger company, but there are downsides to relinquishing independence. Acquired studios are held accountable by people outside of the actual development of a game, and the bigger the company, the further away its bosses are from the creative process. The most extreme and negative outcomes for an acquired indie studio are, of course, layoffs and closures. We saw a lot of these in 2023. An estimated 9,000 people lost their jobs in the video game industry this year, up from about 1,000 in 2022. This is a crisis level of loss, and it was spurred by overeager acquisition sprees by the companies at the top. Embracer Group, which owns more than 100 video game studios, laid off more than 900 people, and it completely shut down multiple studios. Unity laid off about 900 people this year. In November, the company reported a yearly revenue increase of 69%, and executives told investors, "We continue to manage costs well." Epic Games fired about 830 people in 2023, including a chunk of the team at Fall Guys studio Mediatonic, which it purchased in 2021. EA dropped more than 1,000 employees this year, including significant cuts at Codemasters, a studio it purchased in 2021. CD Projekt Red, Sega, Ubisoft, and Microsoft's 343 Industries also laid off at least 100 people each. Looking back on the carnage this year, it feels like a warning. As consolidation efforts increase, more studios will be controlled by just a handful of companies, and they'll be vulnerable to moves like mass layoffs and closures. We're laying the foundation for the future of video games right now, and consolidation only makes the industry smaller and more generic. What will rampant consolidation mean for all of these acquired studios in 5 years' time? What will it mean when these teams aren't shiny new investments any longer, and the people at the top are ready to get lean again? Unionization is one approach that can help protect the livelihoods of people in the video game industry, and there was progress on this front in 2023. Developers at multiple studios now have union support, from small indies to AAA powerhouses. Microsoft is currently the home of the industry's largest union, with representation for more than 300 quality assurance workers at ZeniMax Media. Other companies with unions established in the past 2 years include Avalanche Studios, Anemone Hug, CD Projekt Red, Experis Game Solutions, Keyword Studios, Sega of America, Tender Claws, and Workingman Interactive. We love to see it. And for the industry to remain stable, we need to see more of it. Activision Blizzard has agreed to pay $54 million in order to settle the discrimination lawsuit that California's Civil Rights Department filed against the company in 2021. And the bulk of the money will be used to compensate affected employees and contract workers. Hideo Kojima is working with film studio A24 on the movie adaptation of Death Stranding, because of course he is. I've been unable to get the Talos Principle 2 out of my head since I previewed it and interviewed the developers at Crow Team a few months ago, and I'm finally sitting down and enjoying it. I'm playing on a Steam Deck OLED and having a great time solving laser puzzles and talking about the meaning of life with a bunch of robots. I highly recommend you try the same. This is our final episode for the year, but we might pop in over the coming weeks with a roundup of our favorite games or something. Make sure you don't miss any new episodes by subscribing to the Engadget YouTube channel and check out Engadget.com. When we come back in January, we'll unveil our name for this show, and we'll see you then.